Of a loan.
Who gets a receipt from their girlfriend for a loan?
Smart people do. Am I correct that you were living together as a couple?
That means I should pay everything?
I don't answer questions, I ask questions.
Hello, Judge. Case 1067, Rogers versus Davis.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okie dokie now. Miss Rogers, you and Mr. Davis were a couple.
Yes.
And I assume during the course of your relationship there was a time that you lived together.
There was.
Want to give me the dates of that?
We started dating in June of 2020, and it was a month or two after that we moved in together.
So let's say August of 2020. And you lived together until when?
May of 2021.
During the course of living together, an automobile was purchased.
Correct.
When you started to live together in June of 2020, did you have an automobile?
I did.
Did you move into his apartment?
I did, yes.
In June of 2020, did you have an automobile, sir?
Yes, I did.
What kind?
BMW.
How old?
It was an older model, 1999. It was
22 years
old.
old.
It was a little out of shape.
And there came a point after the plaintiff moved in that, according to what I've read, you started to use the car for delivering for DoorDash.
Correct.
And you were using his 22-year-old car.
Yes.
That was not in great shape.
Correct.
So another car was purchased. And the car that was purchased was what?
It was a 2009 Toyota Camry.
And I gather that that was the only car that was for the use of the household.
No,
There was another car,
he still used his car.
the old
It was
BMW.
broken down.
But you got the car because it was continually giving you difficulty.
He didn't find it safe for me to drive his car.
Well, that's what you'd like me to say, because what happened was you broke up. He bought this car. I assume that all the money that was paid for the car, which was how much,
It was $2,200.
was paid for by the defendant.
Yes.
And because he, for whatever reason, either because of insurance or because of whatever, or you would like me to think that he gave you the car, both names were put on the car.
They were.
And when you broke up, first you took the car from him, and there was an argument about the car. And then he found where you had parked the car, and he took the car back.
Yes.
Twice.
Where is the car now?
I do not know.
You have
I've since sold the car.
okay. Sold the car to a private party.
Correct.
For how much? Just curious.
$2,500. But when I sold the car, it was only in my name, not in both cars.
Okay. You're suing him for $2,625, money for selling a car without permission and for emotional distress.
Correct, Your Honor.
Well, somebody is going to own this car, and you're not married to each other, never were. And so there's no marital property, joint property. So if he hadn't sold the car, let us make believe he hadn't sold the car. You would come here and say, well, he gave me the car, and he made a gift to me of the car.
He did, Your Honor.
Yeah, I don't think so.
I
don't think
told
so.
my daughter that.
Yeah, I don't think so. And I don't care what he told your daughter, and I'm not going to ask her to lie. Whatever it is, you're not married. He paid for the car. It was like he bought a washing machine and put it in the house. It's not your washing machine, it's his washing machine. I have to make a judgment based upon when two people are living together. You know, if you brought a sofa into the house and wanted to take it out, and he said, well, she made a gift to the household of the sofa, I would say he paid for the sofa. He gets to take the sofa. It's not difficult. So if the car was still here, I would say that the car was his. Now, the second part of your issue,
He also forged my name, Your Honor, off of the title.
that's a very bad thing to do. He's
And
going
I
to tell me.
have proof.
Just a second. That's a very bad thing to do. And I think that if you want to pursue that, you should file criminal charges against him. Before, just a second. I think, Miss Rogers, if you want to do that, because the car is no longer in existence, and if you think that that's a case that you want to be part of, I think that you should report it to the police. They either will accept it or will not accept it. I'm not dealing with it. I'm just saying, based upon the fact that he paid for the car in a short-term relationship, and you broke up, and he took the car and sold it, I'm not dealing with that. That's a criminal action. You want police to follow up with that? As my grandmother would say, gay goes unto hate. Go in good health. I think he's done. Now, we have nonsense here on your part. We have money owed for loans,
Yes, ma'am.
proof of loans, household expenses,
Yes, ma'am.
because she promised to pay for household expenses.
Yes, ma'am.
And she didn't.
She did not.
Okay. Did that happen during the course of her living with you?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. And she promised to pay?
Yes, ma'am.
And you share the same bed all during this time?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm not interested. Now, I'm interested if you can demonstrate to me a loan.
Yes, ma'am.
A loan.
Yes, she had a loan for a lawyer for her divorce.
Hold on. Tell me when you gave her money for a lawyer for her divorce.
Around March 30th, around the same time I bought the car.
Did you need a lawyer for your divorce?
No, I have proof of that in her own handwriting, what she needed money for.
Can I see it?
Yes, ma'am. It's highlighted there, so, Your Honor. She had a daily list of chores to do the next day in her own handwriting, which states...
Chores for her?
For both of us. Mine are on the top, hers are on the bottom.
That's right. So she writes this out, what she has to do and what you have to do.
Correct.
Kevin, just for giggles, would you show this to her, please, and just have her identify whether this is her handwriting?
I don't see how she did.
Shh. I just want to know if that's your handwriting.
Yes, it is.
Okay, give that back to him. He has a pen. I want him to circle anywhere where it says loan.
Does not say loan anywhere.
Nowhere.
No, ma'am.
Next.
She didn't have a job.
Next.
She's going to pay those monies without a job.
I don't care whether she
I was the
put
only
on
one
a
that had
Santa
income.
costume. It doesn't say loan. You say you have
over
proof.
$1,500 worth of statements here.
Listen to me. very
Of money
carefully.
given to her.
Listen to me, sir.
I paid
Giving
for
her,
storage, her lawyer, her pre-trial diversion for her other case.
just show me evidence of a loan. I don't care what you paid for.
I have evidence of cash out with her name on it. To her.
I don't care. Don't you understand? I want you to listen.
Who gets a receipt from their girlfriend for a loan?
Smart people do.
Well, yeah, from now on.
Dumb people don't.
From now
Dumb
on.
people end up there where you give her money and there is no contract between you that says this is a loan and I will pay you.
There was plenty.
Just a second, you keep talking and you're not listening. I'm telling you, I want to see evidence of a loan, not that you gave her money.
I have evidence where she states, I will pay you back. I will pay you back.
Just a second. If you have evidence of a specific amount where she says, I will pay you back, I would love to see that. That is evidence of a loan.
She promised to pay me.
Just up, don't speak, just hand. Kevin.
That's it.
Jason?
I'll be able to pay you back soon. I am pretty positive I'm going to start a job on Monday.
Yeah, which is
That's
several
January 27th, I assume, of this year.
Yes.
Okay, not much, but it's something. Do you remember writing this to him?
Yes, he actually picked up some medicine for me and brought it over to my mother's where I was staying. And he brought us cigarettes and put $40 in my cigarette pack for me.
And that was in January. I'll be able to pay you back soon. I'm pretty positive I'm going to start a job on
Moved in
Monday.
August.
What's he
Moved in
talking
August.
there, Your Honor? What he's talking about there is $30 that I
Moved in
had
in
borrowed
August.
from him
January's way after August.
one night when I was dashing, and it was for $30.
I have over 50.
I'd like to see the rest of your evidence of a loan. This isn't doing it for me.
I have one more page with a loan on it, which covers.
I'd like to see it.
It's just a withdrawal for her storage fees. When she moved in, I had
Just
to
a
call
minute.
her storage fees.
Who wrote the word loan here?
I just
This
highlighted
doesn't say,
it. That's just the date that I pulled it out of the ATM.
Mr. Davis, it's over. You have no claim against her. You sold the car. The car didn't belong to her. The money that you gave her during the course of your relationship, unless it was memorialized into a loan, where she actually says, I owe you $1,500, I owe you $3,000, I owe you $12, she says, I owe you...
She's going to get a job and pay me back. Gonna
Just
get a
a
job and pay me back. Gonna get a job and pay me back. She never got a job and paid me back. Every time she tried to get a job, it fell through. Then she started DoorDashing, so she's going to pay me back. Every time she went DoorDash, she either went out drinking or
Just a second.
She might have bought cigarettes once, put gas in the car, maybe $20 a total. She's never done anything to contribute.
And during all of that time, you were living together as a couple. Am I... Just a sec! Am I correct that you were living together as a couple?
That means I should
Jump!
do everything?
I don't answer questions. I ask questions.
Yes, ma'am, we're living together as a couple. Trying to build a life.
You were living together and building a life together. So when she needed money, you gave her money. If it was a loan, she was supposed to pay it back. If she didn't pay it back and you continued to give her money for cigarettes, for medicine, for cash for a lawyer, for just cash, and you kept
All
with
promised
no,
to pay
I'm
back?
speaking,
Yes, ma'am.
you soon lost your expectation of being paid back while you were both enjoying the luxury of living together. You have no case, sir. You have no case, madam. Say goodbye to each other. We're done.
One thing that's so important for people in relationships, especially in my age group, to understand is if you want something to be alone, and that's your intention when you give it, you need to have the proper legal documentation to prove that, because it's easy after the fact when people are bitter and angry and no longer sleeping in the same bed together. It's easy to call a gift a loan after the fact. So if that's your intention from the start, it's important to have that legal document in writing, signed, to show that it was a loan that you expect to be paid back. And I know that it might not be the sexiest thing in a relationship to sit down with your partner and write out a contract
That's
between the
true.
two of you, but
People in your age group are much more sophisticated. They know about prenuptial agreements and they're getting married later and accumulating property of their own. And I think that they know things that in my generation and the next one, we really didn't think of, because we got married when we were 20 years old and had nothing. But now, in situations like you saw, it's a very good learning experience. You're absolutely correct. That's a great line. It may not be sexy, but it's smart.
and it's important.
Masturbation is often described as normal, even healthy. But the truth is far more dangerous than what society tells you. Even if someone does it just once a month, the body pays a price, physically, mentally, and spiritually. When a person masturbates, they release more than just a few drops of fluid. That fluid contains vital nutrients, zinc, protein, minerals, and enzymes that the body carefully stores and uses to create life. The process of making new sperm, called spermatogenesis, is not something light or effortless. It requires energy, a lot of it. Your hormones, your cells, and your metabolism all work hard to restart that cycle. And if you're not eating enough, no proper proteins, no vitamins, no healthy fats, then the energy used to recreate what you lost comes from your body's reserves. That's when you begin to feel weakness, laziness, poor focus, and sometimes even sadness without a clear reason. Many young men who don't eat properly and still continue this habit often feel drained and confused. They think something else is wrong with them, but they don't realize it's their own body struggling to recover from what they think is a small release. Over time, this private act becomes a pattern, and then an addiction. The mind starts craving artificial pleasure, and the body gets used to it. The brain releases dopamine during this act, and just like any drug, the more often you stimulate it this way, the more your brain needs stronger, quicker, and weirder forms of stimulation. Soon, you find yourself unable to enjoy normal things: sunlight, exercise, relationships, or even the touch of a real human being. And then one day you get married, you have a wife, a real, loving, warm partner. But you don't feel satisfied, you don't feel excited, you don't feel anything close to what you used to feel with your own hand. Why? Because your brain is no longer wired for real intimacy. It's been trained to respond to your hand, to the screen, to your imagination. Not to love, not to reality. And here comes the worst part. Even after marriage, the habit continues. You start comparing your wife to what you've seen in the fake world. You secretly return to masturbation. You think, it's nothing, I'm married now, this is just once in a while. But inside, your relationship starts to suffer. Your emotional connection becomes weaker. And slowly your body starts showing signs of damage again. One day, you and your wife try for a baby. You're excited, but the doctor says your sperm count is low. Your motility is weak. The fertility report is not good. And you're left wondering, how? I'm healthy. I'm still young. But the truth is, the damage started long ago. Constant release over the years, especially with poor nutrition, stress, and guilt, weakens the male reproductive system. It can reduce testosterone levels. It can reduce sperm quality. It can affect your ability to become a father, all because of a habit you thought was small, even if it was just once a month. Masturbation is not harmless. It drains your energy, your confidence, your strength, and sometimes your future. It steals your power in silence, and the longer you keep doing it, the more control it has over you. But it's never too late to stop. Self-control is a real strength. Your body can heal, your mind can reset, your energy can return, and your future can still be saved. Choose discipline over pleasure. Choose long-term strength over short-term satisfaction. Choose life over weakness. You are meant for more than this.